We're here with the Director of Cross Country, Mark Nelson. Coach, your team took part this past weekend in the Eagle Invitational to kick off their fall season. First off, what did you think of how the women raced this weekend?
They did a great job. It was really hot and muggy out, and wasn't sure how people were going to hold up in the hot temperatures like we had out there. But they ran really well. Allison Ng was third place overall, and was our lead performer in the meet. And we had the girl who we think is our top runner sitting out, and we expect her to be cleared by the NAIA here in the next couple of days. And we're looking forward to seeing her race the next time we step out on our course. But overall, the group was good. Megan Greener had a good day. Veronica Hancock, Shannon Furt, Abby Cross, the whole squad was pretty competitive, and we were able to get the first place finish.
Now, with the women's team, a lot of experience on that team, but the men's team, a younger squad. How did you think they did in their first race of the year?
Well, I was curious to see how they would do, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure what to think. We're running the same distance we ran the same distance that they ran in high school at this past meet, so at least it was something a little more familiar for them, and they're going to be creeping up in distance here over the next couple of meets. But to see Elliot go out and win the race against a seasoned veteran that has placed as high as, I think, second in our meet last year, beating all of our seniors, to see him go out and beat that kid and actually put 10 seconds on him in the last half mile is really encouraging, especially for the rest of the season. What's this kid going to be able to do? But the rest of our squad, Michael Neely had a great day. Stepped up and ran at the front of the race, probably for the first time in his college career, mixing it up with the leaders. And then the young guys behind him, they've got a lot to learn here, and they've got a short time to do it. And it's really going to depend on them to see where the season's going to go.
You'll have this upcoming weekend off, but then you host another race on Saturday, September 10th. What do you hope to see out of both of your teams come that race?
Well, in this case, we're going to be going up in distance for both the men and women. The women are going to get up to their official racing distance for college cross country of 5,000 meters. The men are going to be running a 4-mile race, and for me, it's just going to be, how well are we going to make the transition?
All right. Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time, and good luck in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
We're here with head women's soccer coach Dan Schmidlin. Coach, an impressive week for your squad, a pair of 7-0 shutouts to begin the season. Let me ask you this. Could your team have started any better?
It's been a great start. Very pleased with what the girls have been doing. I thought preseason camp went really well, and I think that's carried over to our first 2 matches. So I think Harristow and Hannibal LaGrange have some good players that they're going to surprise some people, and they're going to win some games. So I think our attack's been strong, and we've been scoring a lot of goals. So it's been a good start.
Now, you have a lot of returners on this team, but you also have a lot of new fresh faces, and those new faces made their impact heard this past week. If you could talk about a few of the new players that have done a lot for your team.
Oh man, we got so many players. I guess I'll start with all the returners. I think every single returner's improved from a year ago, and I think that's critical for our program. And then the new girls that have stepped in, we told the girls we have more than 11 starters. If we could play with 22, we would, and we could put a good 22 out there at a time. So, there really hasn't been a bad player so far in either game. So, I think, you can definitely say Ashlyn Freeman with 2 clean sheets. That's impressive. And I think, Kylie Thwing's been really good. She's already had several assists and a goal. Judith has been great for us, 2 goals in the first game and then 3 in the last. So, that's just a couple that of the new girls that have stood out right away. And I think returners, Nikki's off to a great start. but all of them I'm so proud of, you know, and it's always tough when you just identify a couple. So I mean, it's truly every single girl so far has played a big factor, and sometimes it's just in training and prepping for the next match, and you know, so I'm super happy with the girls.
Two more non-conference matches this week. You have Tabor and Lindenwood Belleville. What do you expect to see out of those two squads?
I think there'll be battles as well. I mean, it's Tabor was an overtime game last year, and then the year before we got a draw against them. So I know they've already had a scrimmage, and they drew a JUCO. So you know, I know their coach works very hard, and he's, I'm sure, brought in a good class. We'll find out a little bit more about them here in the next couple hours, but already put some feelers out, so I got a pretty good idea of what they'll have. Lindenwood Belleville, they got a lot of new girls and a new team, so I think that'll be another good battle, and that one's on the road. So, you know, on the road you never really know what to expect. So, you know, I expect two more good battles.
All right, well, Coach, thanks so much for your time, and good luck this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're here with assistant coach Luke Bentley with the Eagles volleyball team. And Luke, your squad played in the Missouri Valley tournament this past weekend, the varsity team that is. And you ran into some stiff competition. Overall, how did you think your team played in the tournament?
Being that it was our second tournament of the year, I thought we played really well. Came out tough on Friday. Played a really strong William Woods team, 1-5, which is really good for us. We haven't beaten Woods in about 10 years, so that was great for our program. And then ended up playing a really scrappy McPherson team the next match, and I think the heat and the exhaustion from the first match kind of led to the second one, and we ended up struggling and dropping to them. Came back on Saturday, played the 12th ranked Park team, took the first set from them, which is great, and then ended up dropping the next three, and then came real strong and beat an Ottawa team that we lost to last year, and took them in 4. So it was a pretty good weekend overall. The girls worked really hard. It's a really good stepping stone for us to move on from here, and we're pretty excited about, you know, what we have to offer this next week. So
The junior varsity squad was in action on Sunday at Benedictine. How did they look?
they looked good. It was our first match for them. We only had a week of practice, so pretty early, but I liked the way they came out yesterday. We won our first match and ended up running into a good Benedictine team later. But overall, it was a good day for them. First time playing together all year, so I thought they played well, so I was happy with it.
A couple of more tournaments this week for the varsity squad. I know you're going to the College of Ozarks for a pair of matches, going to Waldorf. What do you expect out of all the opponents you're going to see this week?
Yeah, everyone we face is going to be tough. We have to come ready to play every game. We go to C of O tomorrow. We went to 5 with them last year, so we know what to expect from them. And then this weekend we're going to Waldorf and we're playing a Minnesota Moorhead team, which is Division II, so they'll be strong. Cardinal Stritch is ranked. So real good competition for us to start early on, and hopefully prepares us for conference play when we start in a couple weeks. So.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time, and good luck this week.
Thanks.
We're here with head men's soccer coach Alex Nichols. Coach, a good start to your season, 1-0-1 on the year. Let's talk about your home opener against Harris Stowe, a 6-0 shutout victory. What'd you think of your team's performance?
Yeah, it was good. Second half didn't go. We had a lot of opportunities, but we weren't able to convert a lot of those opportunities, and that's some stuff. It's very early for our team, and so we still have a lot of things to work on. But I mean, we won 6-0, so at the end of the day, that's a good result. And I mean, tying Rockhurst in our preseason opener, and they're number 3 in the nation, so that was a good start to our season. Mm-hmm. So then with Harris Stowe beating them 6-0, it was a good home opener, but we've got a lot to work on.
You went on the road this past weekend, played a Hannibal LaGrange opponent. You tied 0-0 in double overtime, but you were playing a man down for most of that match. How tough was it against the Trojans on the road?
Even when we went a man down, I mean, we were playing 10v11 for 104, 105 minutes. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that we had as many opportunities as we did and we couldn't quite put away our opportunities. But our defense held strong from the top to the back line, and so we were very pleased with not giving up any goals. That was something that we were happy about, but even 10 versus 11, we still should have found a way to bury a couple goals and win that game. So disappointing in the long run. We don't like ties. That's not what you play for. You don't play to tie, you play to win. But at the end of the day, you know, a man down for 100 and 405 minutes and not conceding a goal, you know, says quite a bit about your team. So it's in the past now. We'll move on from that tie, and we look to Tabor.
Yeah, and looking ahead this week, a couple of good opponents. You host Tabor here on Wednesday, and then 25th ranked Hastings comes to town on Saturday. Some real good challenges for your team this week.
Yeah, Tabor always is competitive within the KCAC, so that will bring us a good challenge and teach us a lot more in preparation for who we know is easily a top 20 opponent in Hastings. So they'll be very good. So we'll learn a lot about ourselves and what we're made of here this week. We're looking forward to it.
Your reserve squad gets going later today against Avila. What do you hope to see out of them?
You know, our staff is excited by the progress that they've already made in the training that they've had this past 6-7 days.